Fletcher, the vote has actually now been taken, and it is part of the record.
So we're going to move to item 16. I'm moving to item 16, which is the setting of rates, all of which is immediately downstream of everything we've agreed so far. And it's moved by Deputy Mayor and seconded by Councillor Sayers. Mr Duncan again. Rightio. We want assurances really that that these complicated numbers, which I did quiz you seriously about yesterday, are absolutely right. Because it's not easy for any of us to know whether 0.00482216 should be 0.48217 or something or other. And so just reassure us that you're convinced that what you're offering us here actually represents the downstream impact of what we all voted for last May the 16th. And off you go. Take us through the rest of it.
Good afternoon. The rate setting report is a legal requirement. The rates have to be struck after the long-term plan is adopted or an annual budget is adopted. The recommendations to set the rates in this report reflect the decisions you made on the 16th of May and the decisions included in the long-term plan that you've just adopted. There are a lot of detailed 8-decimal numbers in this report. We have a sophisticated rates model that allows these to be calculated based on your decisions. The model itself is checked independently by 2 other staff members. So the model is thoroughly checked to ensure it is generating the correct results. We haven't had any issues with this in a decade, and we have a good checking process. It's also reviewed by Audit New Zealand as part of their process. And then there's a further checking process in place with 3 or 4 parties to ensure that the numbers are correctly transposed from the model into the documents you've got here today. This report has that technical process associated with it. I would note that there is one issue highlighted in the executive summary in particular in relation to the Hunters Corner bid. You'll recall that there were concerns they weren't compliant with the bid policy, and that when we reported to you on the 16th of May that we were waiting for advice from the Otara Papatoetoe local board as how they'd like to address that. They said that as the bid wasn't compliant with our policy that we should set the rate at 0. After considering the best way to achieve what they were looking to do, we've made a minor technical adjustment to what they're doing, and rather than setting the rate at 0, after speaking with our legal advisors, we consider that just not setting the rate at all is the appropriate way to achieve the policy guidance from the board and your earlier decision. I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you. I've just got 15 questions. No, just kidding. Just one. There's a line in the targeted rates that says year 26 compared to what would normally say is year 25. Is it year 25, 26 or year 26, 27? That's on the netter. It says Y26. Which year is that?
Which
page
are you referring to, or which resolution?
Well, you're asking too many questions there, Andrew. It's in the document, of course, but now I should find it. I should have asked you before the meeting or during that very long debate we had all day. Sorry, it's 9. Good idea. Oh, I'm sorry.
Is it the resolutions or the paragraph
it's a
number?
Paragraph. Right, here it is. It's context 9, Roman numeral 2. It just says from FY26, but normally it would say the numbers that straddled, the years it straddled.
So that's fiscal year 25, so it's the 25-26 year.
Okay, that's
So
fine.
it's the revenue that we're seeking to deliver is 32.6 million for the rates year beginning, what is it, Monday next week. It'll then, we're looking to increase that by 3.5% a year from fiscal year 26.
Yeah, no, I know.
25-26.
Thanks. Yeah. Normally, I haven't seen it written in a single number, so I just was wondering which year it straddled. But that is perfect. Thank you. Sorry. I should have had the number ready.
That's okay.
There's a question from Councillor Feely.
Yeah, kia ora. Thank you, Chair. Just a question, team, around the difference between setting the rate to 0 and not setting the rate for, and this is for the targeted rate for the Hunters Corner bid. I was at the local board meeting where they discussed that, and I think the advice to the local board was to set the rate at 0. Just wondering if you can explain that difference a little bit more, and whether there's any sort of disadvantage or any negative effect on the board or on the bid itself by doing it the way that you're suggesting, kia ora, or recommending.
Avoid inconsistency between rate setting and FIS.
Sorry, that's at paragraph 7 and also 10 to 15.
Yeah, it avoids an inconsistency between what we've got in the funding impact statement and the rate setting. Has the same effect, and so after we worked through it technically, we felt that was the best way to do it. So
Okay, great. And has the local board been advised of that difference?
Yeah, well, we think so.
KT.
Okay, great. Thank you. Kia ora.
Yes.
Okay, I've got no more questions, but I view retire. Councillor Fletcher wants to make a comment on this. Councillor Fletcher?
Well, thank you, Your Worship. I had hoped to speak under item 15, but in the absence of the opportunity for speaking at that, I want to acknowledge the success of the LTP process and the commencement by the facilitated workshops, and how I felt that that has allowed us to arrive at something today that we can largely agree with. So I won't delay things, but I really would like that acknowledged, because that was an opportunity that was not afforded us under the former mayor, and I think that the LTP will be that much improved by that. So I want to give my support to the LTP, and I'll relate it to this document in terms of rate setting, with the exception of any funding allowed for this, for the removal of the downtown flyover. So I wish to vote for this, but I wish it to be noted that the rates that we are setting here not be allocated in any way for funding for the removal of the downtown flyover. But other than that, thank everybody for the participation and for the inclusive way and the intelligent way that we commence the discussion around the LTP. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Fletcher. We'll note that. You're probably not alone there, but that's just a notation, but we have actually agreed to accept the long-term plan. And I think we've just, did we put this? Yeah. Well, I'm going to put the motion that uniform charges be set, and according to the item moved on item 16. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. The contrary, carried. I think you should be quite happy, really. We've actually got quite a low, probably the lowest increase in rates across the country, and we've actually managed to deliver everything we were going to do, which is a pretty amazing thing, really. We're now going